Galveston, Texas, and I got Miss Diane Moore. Can you tell us about this? Are we really in the oldest church in the state of Texas?
It's the oldest African Methodist Episcopal church in the state of Texas. There is one other black church, Baptist church, that's older, and it's in the state. But Reedy got started in 1848 when the members of the Methodist Church South, or White Church, decided they wanted some place for their slaves to be able to worship. So they bought this land and eventually set up a church. And then when the Civil War came along, they deeded the property to the free, as opposed to giving it to the Methodist Church North, of the. So anyway, the people here made a decision to join the African Methodist Episcopal Church, which had been started in the late 1780s by Richard Allen in Philadelphia. And so that's where the church began, and then the
Okay, now let me ask
church
you.
was named after Reverend Reedy. It's the name Reedy Chapel.
Reedy Chapel. Now, I heard you say something about the CUNY home, and this is...
Norris Wright CUNY
Okay.
was a member of Reedy Chapel,
Okay.
and he was basically an alderman, which is like the city council.
Was he a black man,
A
right?
black man, yes.
Okay.
Well, actually, he was what they call a mulatto. His father was the slave owner,
Okay.
and his mother was one of the slaves, but he educated his children.
Okay.
And so Norris Wright CUNY came back here. He was during the Reconstruction era. He was very important in the Republican Party, and if you wanted to get someplace in the Republican Party, it was good to get his support.
Okay.
He also started the Longshoremen's Organization, the Cotton Jam, his own business,
Okay.
and he.
We talking about Mr. CUNY?
Mr. CUNY.
Okay.
And
Because I'm going to take a picture of Mr. CUNY, by the way.
Right. He was one of the, he did the work when this building, which was to start, when the church was destroyed in the 1885 fire that destroyed 40 blocks of Galveston.
We here in Galveston now, and this is where they first dropped the slaves out.
It's a natural harbor, and so yes, slaves were brought in here, as a lot of immigrants came through here that were not slaves, but
They were
so
just
it's always
black.
been, of various races. So we've had our discriminatory problems, as anybody did. But on the other hand, because we had such a mixture of people,
Right.
integrated neighborhoods were not something unheard of. I grew up in an integrated neighborhood
Okay.
during the days of segregation. The neighborhood was mixed. But
Yeah,
anyway,
but let me go to tell, because a lot of people, especially young people, they don't really know, because I had to learn how to like. Galveston was just like Las Vegas at one time. I mean, I heard that, this was a really exciting place right here on the island, and a lot of traffic and tourists would come through here.
there was gambling. I'm told this was I know in the 40s, and I think somewhere in the 50s, it got closed down.
Right.
And some of the people that owned businesses moved on out to Los Angeles.
And move out west, called the Las West. Okay,
Las Vegas. You were asking me about this.
this is another part of it.
And this is a 1872 Hook Hastings organ, pipe organ. Trinity Episcopal Church, a white church, wanted a larger organ, so they traded it in when they bought their bigger one. And Reedy Chapel, including my great-grandfather, went to the music store and purchased it for, it was in the early, about 1910, 1913, about $135. But they still had to make a loan in those days.
Right, because that was a
$135
lot of money.
more.
Right.
And
It is,
so
right. $135 just almost like $300,000 a day.
So there
Right.
are only two like this in the
That's
country.
a regional
This
organ.
one and
I'm
the
gonna
other
take a picture of that
in the
organ, by the way.
Smithsonian.
And now, being in the church and being around, because I'm from Houston, and I was in the segregated era, and we played Central Galveston, and
Yeah,
I did
went to
not
Central.
know Central was the oldest school
Yes.
in the South.
Right. The oldest school in the state of Texas for African Americans.
It's Central.
It's Central. Today it's a Central Middle School, but we do have the old Central Cultural Center, which Central High was built in 1924.
Okay.
But before then, there were 3 other buildings that were used for Central as a high school. And the last one as a high school is the one that is on 30th Street.
Now, being with another thing, somebody educated me about. They have and he took a picture of this, of Jack Johnson being the first heavyweight champion. I didn't know he was from
First
Galveston.
heavyweight, yes, first
I
black
did not
heavyweight
know
champion
this.
of the world. And it was the world, he fought, he had matches outside the United States.
Right, because one time he had to go get they had blackballed him, he had to go get his license, and someone looked at the James Earl Jones. They see that this picture motion picture they made about called the Great White Hope, and he was from right here in Galveston.
And we have the Jack Johnson Park, Central Cultural Center, and there's a street named after him, 41st Street. There is a wood carving, which after Hurricane Ike, remember the trees that died, turned into carvings, and it's on 41st Street, north side of Galveston, and in the park by Old Central on 26th and M.
And all of this in the honor of Jack Johnson? Yeah, that's what he did. He took a picture. And some of your Facebook family might have known it. Joe Hamilton took a picture of Jack Johnson statue here in Galveston. I said, wow, I did not know. And I did not know about Galveston Central being the oldest, and nor did I know about this church being as old as it is, and this historical argument. Man, and then and I heard one of the guys, because in the Fabulous Pictures, he said the storm happened in 1900. That was before my time, but I remember Hurricane Carla came through here and survived. Yeah, and I was a kid when Hurricane Carla came through here, and they tore the seawall down. I remember seeing all of this stuff.
Well, they
How did that?
the seawall down. I mean, there was damage along there, but the seawall was built after the 1900 storm.
Okay. Oh, that's when the seawall.
It was built after the 1900 because before
Okay.
there was no seawall.
Oh, okay. It wasn't no seawall.
My grandmother's house, the house she lived in, was high enough that they had a swing in it. Just go and pick them up. Now that house was destroyed in the 1900 storm. Houses washed together, and that gave them the idea of let's build a barrier. So they built the seawall.
And that's when the Galveston seawall. Hurricane Carla came through. I seen it banging up the seawall, but it never did tear it down.
No, it didn't, and since that time it's been, well, more recently it's been extended.
Right.
Somewhere.
But the Hurricane Ike came, I heard you saying the damage.
It went up the bay instead of the Gulf. There were some destruction of places, but actually it was the homes and buildings close to the bay. Downtown had 10, 12.
Okay.
There were some places right on the boulevard where people didn't have any water damage or any damage in the house.
That's Ike.
That was Hurricane Ike because the eye of the hurricane went up the bay.
Okay, now, in the time you've been living in here, in Galveston County, what would you categorize which would be, in our time here, out of Ike and Hurricane Carla, which one do you think would be the most damaging hurricane? Not those two. In our era, because we don't know about the 1900s. But look like...
Well, these are things from my
Yeah.
great aunt, who was like 21, and my grandmother didn't talk a whole lot about it, but she was almost 12 years old, and I was around her. But I don't know, with Ike and Hurricane Carla, I guess Ike was probably worse than Carla.
Carla, okay.
They did close off the causeway, you couldn't leave, but I stayed in the house without electricity or work, but the house I lived in was the one built into the 1900s. So it's
okay.
2 feet off the ground.
So it's up off the ground.
And we didn't have flooding damage. However, I lived in a one-story house. Yeah, we were out of the house from September to May.
You do not know. I know you have to go. I know they got to go. And thank you so
Well,
much.
I'd like to add that our pastor today is the Reverend Mary Reedy.
Please give us some details in case some of your Facebook family want to come to this, view this beautiful church, come worship at this church. I'm going to let Miss Davis, right?
Diane Henderson.
Miss Henderson. I'm going to let Miss Henderson give you the direction and where we at right here in Galveston.
We're on Broadway, which when you come into Galveston on I-45, when you get off, you will be on Broadway. And the address of the church is 2015 Broadway, Galveston, Texas 77550.
Now, what time is the service?
Services are Sunday school at 10 o'clock, and the worship service starts at 11 on Sundays.
Okay, and this is Broadway. When you come into Galveston, you can't help but if you stay on Broadway, you see the church.
Yes, and we're at the 20th block, and when you get off the Causeway, the first stop light you come to is 59th Street. So just keep coming east till you get to 20th and Broadway. This church is old, so it's the traditional building with the steeple and everything.
It's the authentic.
Yes.
It's the original.
So it'll be on the right-hand side.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss.
That you can't shake loose. Say that you tried everything you tried don't work. I know, man. Jesus, if you call him by name, he can work it